Hello, my name is Gabriel Abreu. I'm a writer from Rio de Janeiro, here in Brazil, and I'm the author of the book Triste Não É o Certo a Palavra, which was the winner of the 2024 edition of the IESS Prize. This is my first published novel. I've been writing for a few years and I've worked with theater and audiovisual in the past, but this is my first published literary work. It was published in 2023 by Companhia das Letras here in Brazil, and I was so happy and thrilled to learn that the book had won this award, especially since that means that the book will now be translated and published in Italy very soon, I hope. So to share a little bit with you about the work, this is a novel that was first conceived a few years ago when I made a discovery of an archive that my mom had kept for many years, where she stored several different fragments of her memory, including dozens of letters she received from friends and lovers, hundreds of photographs and of different documents that she kept. And the thing that was most intriguing and special to me, which was a diary that she kept throughout my first year of life, where she wrote in my own voice, basically from the perspective of her baby, of her newborn. And this discovery happened around the same time in the present a few years ago, when my mom had been diagnosed and had been living with, for a few years, with a sort of neurodegenerative disease, a type of dementia. And so the initial movement of the book came from a very strong desire of mine to try to create a bridge between these two moments in time. You know, this moment in the past when this woman, this recent mother, was trying to create and foster a voice for her son who couldn't yet speak, and a moment in the present when this same son discovers this original gesture of his mother and tries to replicate it in a sort of inverted way to be able to recreate his mother's voice, which had been lost over time and was sort of disappearing and being erased by the process of the disease. And so the book begins with this sort of mirroring game between these two moments, and then tries to it sort of jumps into the process of the investigation, manipulation, and really manual work with this very concrete and physical material that I had at my disposal, this sort of receptacle of my mother's memory, to try to recreate her identity, her voice. And so I would say it's a book that begins with a very autobiographical gesture or intent, but then starts to use fiction and to blend in fiction to be able to sustain this process of the creation of this woman's identity. Of course, working with memory, we're always working with fiction, because the process of memorialization and of retrieval of memory is always flawed. And so it very soon became clear to me that the work was also a work of fiction. I wasn't interested in trying to go after the exact image of who that woman was or who that mother had been, because I knew that was never possible. And so my process of research and of writing found in the autofictional genre the more fertile ground to be able to conduct this sort of investigation and creation. It's a book that I think to a certain extent stretches the more traditional narrative form to be able to accommodate these different mediums, these different types of media, because I wanted to include this materiality that was very important to me. I wanted to try to tell the story not only through prose, but through the use of image, of the transcription of original texts, of the digitalization of documents, of the diary, of the letters, because I very much wanted to invite the reader to go through the same feeling and the same process of having this incredibly rich material, this incredibly rich memory archive, to be able to, build the story themselves as well. And so I think it's a book with a unusual form, but one that tries to, play with this form to be able to tell the story in the way that made sense for me, anyway, that made sense with the process that I was going through as I was writing it. I think that's it. I'm again so honored and truly happy with the opportunity to be able to bring this story to new readers in Europe and more specifically in Italy. It's even more special to me that the book is going to Italy next, because my mother and her family have Italian heritage, so the Italian culture was very much in our sort of imagination and as we were growing up in the south of Brazil. And so I wanted to thank all the people and all the groups involved in this award, in this prize, including the Energheia Cultural Association, the Italo-latina-american International Organization, the Sur Publishing House, and the Scuola de Libro, not to mention my own publisher here in Brazil, Companhia das Letras, and my literary agency, LVB, for all the support and work to bring this book to as many readers as possible. The reception here by Brazilian readers have been amazing, and so I'm so excited and anxious to be able to exchange and talk and discuss with Italian readers very soon. I'm truly honored to be able to be part of this effort to try to divulge and promote new and young authors from the Global South, especially from Latin America. So thank you again for the opportunity, and I hope to see you in Italy very, very soon. Thank you.